UFC went down this past weekend. You got another one this weekend, dude. You're too good to us, Uncle Dana. You're too good to us. A lot of complaining about the commercials. Yeah. You know, it's $8.99. So yeah, pick your poison.
I didn't see that, by the way. What happened with the commercials? Were there too many commercials? Let me know in the stream chat. I was watching it on the fucking illegal live stream, so I didn't really pay attention to it. But are there more commercials on Paramount or whatever it's on now than they were on ESPN and shit? Don't the commercials run every 15 minutes? Is that how you have it in America, right? That's how you have it in the UK. Commercials are every 15 minutes, right? Like 10 to 15 minutes.
Would you rather have the $80 or $84.99 and have no commercials? You know, it's like, I get it. It is annoying. I hear you. I guess I expected the commercials and the ads because Paramount paid whatever $7.7 billion. They got to get their money back.
What? Big up Coiler. For football, Paramount will play a ad right over the touchdown. That's fucking scandalous. Okay, cool. I'll get the complaints then. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. So it's just not going to be a free for all, you know? So I assume the commercials, excessive. Yeah, I hear you. I get it. I get the complaints. What are you going to do, though? You know, it's like, all right, the alternative is they go back to pay-per-view and you drop in, you know, in 2 weeks, you would have dropped $160. This last week's pay-per-view and this one, you're looking at $160. I'll take the ads. The ads I expected, but I also get why everyone's disgruntled with it. The ads I understand. The part
disgruntled, big word for Brendan there,
that I don't like is the new broadcast where we're missing walkouts, we're missing the chatter between the fights, the corner talk. Like we're not getting a ton of that, which that bums me out. There was some hiccups, but overall they get better. I didn't mind that. The intros and stuff, the Paramount intros were dope. You know, they're learning. Let's get into the card though, because the card overall, the prelims were pretty tasty. Krylov, Alex, Charles Johnson.
Yo, wake up, man. Fucking hell, he's taking so long to talk. Honestly, at times like, Jesus Christ, man. He's doing a quartering out here. Like, come on, bro. Like, speed up. Let me get to the main event. I don't want to hear what he says about the prelims. I don't give a fuck. Let me see what he says about the main event.
Then they give Merab a shot, and then Merab beats Peter Yan. You're gonna beat Merab? No, not a chance. You're kind of stuck, dude. Again, I always say it's a sprint. Not, I'm sorry. I always say it's a marathon, not a sprint. So.
It's a sprint, not a marathon. Oh, his brain is cooked.
I would take your time. I would do the Corey Sandhagen fight, see how it goes against Peter and Merab, because Peter looks so goddamn good. Nobody's beaten that version of Peter. Maybe that's a one-off. Maybe he looks human in the rematch against Merab. You know, but I wouldn't vie for a title again because there's nowhere to go for Justin Gaethje. Paddy Pimblett. Let's get into that fight before I give you who they're going to fight next. So
I'm really curious to hear this because the other day, Brendan said Paddy Pimblett was a star of the level of a Conor McGregor. He's the one with the real star power. He's this, he's that. Like he was sucking up Paddy Pimblett like he was the next coming of Christ, you know? When most people, myself included, know Paddy Pimblett is all hype. Everyone knows that his career, unfortunately for him, his career has been very much manufactured and guided by the UFC. They give him a lot of favorable matchups and shit that have allowed him to kind of, you know, jump up on the fucking rankings to places that he probably doesn't really deserve to be at. You know, his skill level probably isn't deserving of being a top 10 in his fucking weight class. I don't think so. He's very limited, doesn't really have a lot of range when it comes to his skills and shit. He's learning all the time, don't get me wrong. Maybe when it comes to star power and the ability to garner a reaction and a big following, all that malarkey, cool. Maybe you could compare him slightly to Conor. I still don't think I think it's somewhat disrespectful to compare him to Conor McGregor, but I get the thinking behind it. But Brendan was talking about Paddy Pimblett like he was of Conor McGregor's skill set too. So it'll be funny to hear how he speaks about him now, given that he got beaten so comprehensively by Justin Gaethje, who's also very old, who's had a ton of injuries, who's been knocked out a few times. But Justin Gaethje made Paddy look very, very ordinary. So I'm curious to see how this guy that was sucking off Paddy Pimblett is now viewing Paddy Pimblett post Justin Gaethje loss.
For Paddy Pimblett, who you guys know, I've been shouting from the rooftops how he can be the next Conor. He's the next megastar for the UFC.
Is he though?
The issue is when you really look at the tape on Paddy Pimblett, and when you look at the Justin Gaethje fight, and you look at who he would have to beat to become champion, and you actually go through it, there's not a lot of paths to victory.
Doesn't that make you look dumb though? Because you said he's Conor McGregor level, so you never really watched his tape. You never really studied his, previous fights or his previous opponents, or really looked at the lay of the land in his weight class. You really didn't. You just went by each fight, jumped onto the hype train, saw the finishes and shit, and got excited. But you didn't really analyze what was really going on. And the truth was, I think most people that pay even the slightest bit of attention to the UFC could have told you that the moment he would get, matched up against a proper, top 5 fucking ranking fighter, he would definitely get found out. And it was the case against fucking Justin Gaethje, It was the case against, I think Justin Gaethje wasn't at his prime. He's not at his, physical fucking, the heights of his physicality and shit. He's been through a lot of wars. He suffered a lot. And he made Paddy look really ordinary. So I do find it funny how he's not really admitting that this analysis of the way he's framing things is right, but it also kind of bears the question, how do you then become like such a Paddy Pimblett fanboy if this is how you observe things going? Doesn't make much sense.
There's just not. There's because what's he do well? Grapple. He the thing that makes him an outlier for the most part is his grappling. When he gets your back, stuff like that, in transitions, his reversals. But Paddy can't wrestle. Get terrible wrestling. It's not his thing. He's not a wrestler. He doesn't have the base of wrestling. He gets most of his takedowns off guys making mistakes. If they go for a hip toss, or they go to do some throw, or they shoot and he reverses, or he gets your back. If you go to do something against the cage, that's kind of how he gets your back, because he's jiu-jitsu grappling by nature. He's doesn't really have the fundamentals of wrestling. Mm-hmm. His striking is blue belt level. In the top 10, top 15, he's a blue belt striking. He's not world class. You got to be careful with saying everybody's world class. He's not world class when it comes to striking. So knowing all this, you look at his path to the belt, and I don't see it. Unfortunately, I do not see it. Some of you watched that Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje fight and went, guess he proved he belongs at the top. That was not my takeaway. I went, oh man, what's he gonna do? Because
you can tell he doesn't really analyze fights that well, because most people were saying this about Paddy since the onset. Since the time he got this run, he went on this run in the UFC of being undefeated. People were saying this. People have been saying this after every fight he won on that run. You can tell he doesn't really watch fights. He just jumps on hype trains, because everyone was saying this. His path to victory to become a champion isn't really there. If he fights a top caliber opponent, he's going to be found wanting. He's going to come up short. People have been saying this from the start. Obviously, it's up to Paddy to kind of prove the doubters wrong of it. Maybe he's done so with a little bit of his run. But overall, people have been mentioning this for ages. People have been talking about this. It's kind of funny that he had no idea this was going on, or was just so, on the fucking hype train, not thinking about this stuff. It's fucking interesting.
because he got kind of mollywopped by Justin Gaethje. He won 1 round. You might be able to give him 2 if you want to give him the 5th, but I don't know, man. But he was never really in the fight. You know, he got knocked down a few times. I think 3 times. He was kind of getting annihilated. I don't know what the game plan was. I think that bothers me the most. Now, I tweeted out, you know, if you would have told me that there's no way that Paddy Pimblett went through entire training camp and the objective of this fight against Justin Gaethje was to stand the whole time, there's no way. There's no way his coaches did that. And what I mean by that is I don't mean shooting a single leg on Justin Gaethje. I don't mean shooting a double, your traditional freestyle wrestling. I mean getting underhooks against the cage, pulling him in. It's doing anything to get it to the ground. Going into this fight, if you would have told me, hey, man, Paddy's just going to stand with Justin, I went, oh, I would have bet my fucking life savings he loses that. There's just, if they keep it on the feet, how's Paddy win that fight? His striking, he doesn't possess knockout power. It's just not his thing. And here's the thing with knockout power. There's nothing you do in the gym to get better at it. Either you got it or you don't. He does not have it. He might catch you with a flying knee, and that might get the job done, wobble you, then finish you with punches. But he ain't an.
To be fair to him, though, Gaethje is also a bit of an outlier. Gaethje can take some damage. He was hitting Gaethje with some pretty good things. That knee through the middle every time Gaethje tried to go, because Gaethje's got this thing where he kind of ducks, or kind of his head goes down when he's coming forward, trying to go for like a takedown. And I think Paddy trained for that. And every time Gaethje kind of came closer, he'd always kind of drive his knee through the middle. He caught him a couple of times with it, but Gaethje didn't really look like he wobbled at all. So it was kind of, you know, one of those fights where you're fighting somebody with a fucking adamantium, you know, fucking Kevlar chin, or an ability to take a lot of damage as well, which is going to require you to really, you know, have your striking at a high level to make sure you take them down type of thing. But I don't think Paddy needs knockout power. He needs power enough to maybe destabilize his opponent, to give him a chance to then take the back, you know, and finish it that way. But it doesn't always need to be knockout. I don't think he, you know what I mean? I don't think so.
Alex Pereira, he's not a guy who has this, or a Topuria for that matter. He's not a guy that has this crazy power in his hands. He's not a guy that has really technical striking. He threw the kitchen sink at Justin Gaethje. He literally, every technique that he's ever learned since he was 7 years old, he threw at Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje went, that's it? That's it? Okay. His leg kicks were good, but again, didn't really do anything, didn't slow Justin down. Justin did a great job.
I think it did. I think the leg kicks did limit Justin Gaethje's movement, especially towards the end of the fight. He wasn't as bouncy, he wasn't as, you know what I mean? I think they worked to a certain extent. He just couldn't take a bunch of them, to be honest. But I do think they limited, or they affected Gaethje's movement somewhat.
Of knowing that Paddy can't take him down, he's not going to shoot on him. His only chance to get in a grappling exchange is by Justin initiating it, whether it's a throw or trip or something of that nature. And Justin was like, no, I'm not doing any of that. Justin uses wrestling with the snap down. That was his thing when he was a wrestler, by the way, and was heavy on the head. That's just to wear him out. And his ground and pound was great from there. But notice he didn't really engage in anything else. Just heavy on the head, no risk of, duck under, none of that, no risk of getting reversed. He just stayed there, punched him, heavy on the head, and wore his ass out. And then get back up. Yeah, so for those people going, man, Paddy showed he deserves to be at the top. It's like, because he didn't get finished? Let's go through this. So Paddy got beat up, man, bad. Like, that fight's going to take years off of his life. At least he didn't get knocked out. Yeah, he's huge. He's huge, man. Okay. It's never good when they go, man, he's tough. That means it did not go well. Boy, he's tough. Okay. That's really the only thing you can say about Paddy. Boy, he's tough.
It's just funny, isn't it? He was literally sucking Paddy off the other day. Now all of a sudden he's one of his biggest critics. biggest skeptic. It's kind of insane. It really is kind of insane.
Okay. So let's go through that. If you truly believe he's one of the top contenders, how's he beat Arman Sarukian? What's he going to do in that fight? He's going to take Arman down? No. He's going
Arman's a badass wrestler, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Patty's probably plus 400 in that fight. Then remember, Arman's not even champion right now. So let's go to the champ. And this is the other thing. This is all I could think of during this main event. After the second round, I went, holy fuck, what are these two going to do? Because if you win this and your reward is Ilia Topuria, how the fuck are either of those two going to beat Ilia? They're not. They're not. Justin Gaethje, again, probably a plus 600 against Topuria. Patty, probably a bigger underdog. There's such a discrepancy between Arman, Ilia.
Yeah, big up Coiler. He literally just forgets his take. Yeah, that's why I said he's got the memory of a dog. I think I mentioned it before. Not even being disrespectful, but I literally don't. Sometimes I don't even think he lies on purpose. I just think he just, when the next day comes, his brain kind of sort of resets in a way. You know, he sort of just. I don't think there's any like long-term memory there. It's all kind of like short. It's just on the moment. Every hour his brain is kind of rewriting itself, you know, clearing up space and shit.
And then everybody else. For Patty too, it's like he fights with his chin high, which he's the bigger guy. He can get away with that. And you can get away with that when you're in the center of the octagon because you have a lot of space to get out of the way and pull back and your chin's high and you move your feet with you, but your hips are going first and your chin's high and you can avoid some punches. But when you're, and he's always a back foot fighter, but when you're getting pressured and you're constantly against the cage, there's nothing worse. So that's why he was getting dropped, annihilated, and Justin's teeing off on him. Because when you're pulling back, but there's a cage there, there's nowhere for your head to go. And it's just bad fundamentals. But you're gonna get away with it at a certain level.
Powerful
until you
bunch.
fight.
Yo, big up Casual. Thank you for joining, brother. Big up Casual. Big up Casual. Big up Jack Donny Jr. too. I saw in the studio. He say, speaking of dogs, AZ should become a dog guy. Yeah, for sure. Maybe at some point. I wouldn't want to become a dog guy now. Because I'm always out and about so much, I wouldn't want to leave my dog at home alone. You know, that's the thing. I'm very conscious of not being that type of dog owner. So I think if I did get a dog, it'll be for when I lock in and I become a kind of, because I can see sometime in my future becoming the type of dude that maybe doesn't live in the city. You know, at the moment I'm in my city sort of vibe. But if I decide at one point to maybe live a quieter life in a countryside village or whatever, then I can see myself definitely becoming a dog guy for sure.
Powerful bunch.
Yo, big up Jack Donny Jr. 20. Oh my god. Fucking hell. 20 bomber. Fucking hell. Big up Jack Donny Jr. You're a legend. AZ, play my IG link in the Discord on the stream.
Powerful bunch.
Let me get it up then. Hold on. What is this? We're still here, people. We're still here.
We're still here, people.
I like
We're
this.
still going.
I'm gonna save this. Who's this?
Through thick and thin.
My type
We're
of party.
still here.
My type of party.
All of the throwers. The right throws at you. We're still here.
Love it. That's what I need to do actually. I was thinking when I go to Pirate Studios next, I'm going to take a green screen. I need to buy a green screen, yeah. That's what I was thinking of doing. When I go to Pirate Studio, I need to take a green screen with me. I want to do like a fake rave or something, you know? When I record at Pirate Studios, I want to have like a green screen and I want to make it look like I'm being booked at a club or a festival. It's going to be really corny and cheesy, but I think that might be quite funny. So yeah, this is fucking brilliant. Big up. Who's this? Let's Paint TV. Big up Let's Paint TV. Big up, let's paint T fucking V. I want to finish this Paddy Pimblett bit, then we move on.
Some real motherfucker. And for Paddy, his entire training camp should have been no matter what. If you can't get him down, all right. If you can't get him down, do not ride the cage. You've got to go back to the center of the octagon. We don't have the skills to fucking box our way out of this. And our liability is leaving the pocket with our chin up in the air. We can do that from the middle octagon. To a certain extent. Somebody, I promise you, is going to catch up with you. It's going to catch up with you. Very frustrating. But in the third round, which he won, notice he started taking control of that center of the octagon. And that's when he had success. But again, he just doesn't have the skill set to exchange with a guy like Justin Gaethje. He landed more punches, more significant strikes. It doesn't matter. It didn't phase Justin Gaethje because you don't have the skill or technique to hurt a guy. You're not a striker. You're a grappler. The problem with being a grappler is you got to get him down to the mat, but you don't have a wrestling foundation. So we're kind of fucked.
I love how he only found this out about Paddy because of the Justin Gaethje fight. He had no inclination about this and about Paddy's skill sets and his limitations before this. Hilarious, man. What a bandwagon. What a casual. This is a casual observation. Anybody that's watched Paddy's fights would have known this prior. It's not even that, into the weeds of an analysis. Just watching him with your eyes, you would have known, oh shit, he's an entertaining fighter, for sure. Great personality, for sure. Charismatic as fuck, for sure. But when it comes to his skill set in the octagon, he's quite limited. And if he comes across an opponent of a higher level, he's going to find it very difficult to do what he wants to do in the fight. He's going to be very reactive, type of thing. But yeah, funny guy, Brendan. Calls everybody else a casual, but has the most casual takes and observations ever.
It's a bummer, dude. It's heartbreaking. Now, the good thing is, if you are a Paddy fan, which I am, you can look at this like, all right, well, he's beloved by the UFC. He's still, besides Topuria, probably the biggest star in the division. They're going to do some stuff to make sure he stays winning. Mm-hmm. There's certain matchups where, okay, we can kind of do this, But if he didn't have that personality, he didn't have that following, and they feed him Armin, they feed him Ilya, I don't know, man. There's not enough hours in the day to make up the discrepancy in skill set. That's just what it is. And I love Paddy, dude. One of my favorite people. Straight up. One of my favorite fucking people. But that's the truth. There's no way you watch that fight and go, oh, he definitely belongs to the top 3. Get the fuck out of here. And it sucks. Now for Justin, and remember, if you're saying Paddy belongs at the top because he's tough, right? That doesn't, everybody's tough. So that's so stupid.
He hates that because maybe in his career, he wasn't regarded as tough. Maybe he's heard people say something about him having quitting him and shit. I think that's why he gets so triggered by people referring to other fighters as tough, because I don't think you hear other fighters say that. He seems to be the only fighter, a former fighter, who has such a problem with people describing fighters as being tough. Like, it is. Because we've seen certain fighters, throw in the towel, both figuratively and literally. So the fact that he's actually going on like toughness isn't a worthwhile trait, or toughness isn't an attribute that should be applauded in some fighters for their ability to maybe push through the pain barrier. Because I think the toughness in Paddy was after that second round, after the second round? Yeah, after the first round. When he got lit up. Was it the one he got lit up a lot in the first round? I think he got dropped twice or something. I forgot what round. No, I think it was second round, sorry. He got dropped twice, and then he come back in the third round and took that round. I think that might be the strongest round. That's toughness. Because he knew the fight wasn't going his way. He could feel that he was kind of, going a bit down, and Gaethje was feeling confident, and he dropped him a couple of times. He could have come out and just took the beating, but instead he went on the front foot and ended up, I think, taking that third round. So I think toughness should be applauded and celebrated, to be honest. I don't think it should be mocked or scoffed at.
But remember, I started with Justin Gaethje. I've known Justin Gaethje for fucking ever. The Justin Gaethje that showed up on Saturday night was, let's say Justin in the height of his career was a 10. That was probably Justin at a 7. He has so many miles on him, man. He's not moving like he used to. If you even go back and look at the first Fiziev fight compared to this, he's moving different, as he should. He's 37. He has all the miles on him, all the miles. So Paddy got annihilated, man, by a compromised Justin Gaethje. And Justin Gaethje, this isn't no knock on Justin. It is what he's older, dude. Justin's at best a plus 400 against Sarukian, a plus 600 to 700 against Topuria. And, you know, Paddy got dog walked, dude. So I just don't see the argument there. I don't see the argument. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. So with Justin, again, all right, so you beat Paddy, you beat the hype. Good on Justin. Is his reward for doing that Ilya? Nah, man. No. You don't do that to that guy. And this is the thing. This is what makes the UFC great, and this is why Justin Gaethje is a bona fide Hall of Famer. Anyone tells you anything else, they don't know shit about the sport. Justin is a bona fide Hall of Famer. Because you're going to say, well, these other leagues, fuck the other leagues. Justin Gaethje's strength of schedule compared to your beloved Khabib is on a whole nother level. Justin Gaethje's walked through fucking fire. Fire. Not a grappler. He chooses to.
Is he trying to say Justin Gaethje has a better record than Khabib? Is that his hot take? Justin Gaethje is actually a better fighter than Khabib. Okay.
To strike only. His strength of schedule is bananas. This is why he should be in the Hall of Fame. Also, the reason why Justin Gaethje was a shoo-in to kick off Paramount is because he has 14 fucking fight bonuses. Fight performances, fight bonuses. This fucking guy, he doesn't have a boring fight ever. Ever. Every fight he's ever had is exciting. His strength of schedule is fucking nuts, dude. Nuts. He's beat the who's who. He's lost to the very, very elite. The best. He's only lost to Hall of Famers. He's only lost Hall of Famers. He's beat Hall of Famers. Dustin Poirier, first ballot Hall of Famer. He head kick KO'd him. Tony Ferguson, Hall of Famer. Cerrone, Hall of Famer. Barboza up for debate. I mean, he's only lost to the very best, but he's beat some of the best. Anyone who doesn't say he's in the Hall of Fame, you're out of your fucking mind. Our sport's different. There's so many ways to lose. And this guy's a striker. And he also comes from the golden age of the lightweight division when it was Khabib. Think of all the monsters. Khabib, Pettis, Dustin Poirier, Fiziev, Charles Oliveira, Chandler, Tony Ferguson at his prime, Cerrone, Barboza, Eddie Alvarez. Come on, dude. Max Holloway, even though Max Holloway's a 45, but still, dude. He's literally must-see TV. He's the most entertaining fighter the UFC's ever had.
Must-see TV.
If that's not Hall of Fame, I don't know what the fuck is, dude. You know you can always count on him. Always count on him to give you a great performance and lay it all on the line. It's going to catch up with him, but that's the deal you make, man. That's the deal you make. So, long story short, what's his reward? I was thinking about this on the way, and I'm like, all right, if you're Justin Gaethje, his manager's Ali, right?
Yeah.
If you're his manager, do you feed him to the Georgian fucking wolves and give him Ilia Topuria? Nope. Do you give him Islam? I'm sorry. Do you not Islam? He fought him already. Do you give him Arman Sarukian? Nope.
No.
Nope.
Powerful bunch.
Yo, big up. Wild fan, appreciate you. Big up Wild fan for being a member for 2 months. Appreciate you. Big up Wild fan. Appreciate you.
What you do? Because he wants to fight in the White House card. You give him Conor McGregor. You owe it to him.
Okay.
A guy that's always been entertaining, always delivers.
Always.
First ballot Hall of Famer. He's maybe 1 or 2 fights left, probably 1 fight left. He's given it his all, man. He complained about the bonuses, right? He has all these bonuses, not even over $1 million. You don't put him out to pasture and have him fight Ilia Topuria, and he's a fucking plus 600 underdog. That's fucked up, dude. He's not going to win that fight. Literally, he has zero chance to win that fight. Sorokin, zero
He might. You never know.
chances. The way you reward a guy who's suffered major physical trauma, major brain trauma, and has delivered for you on every fucking facet. Anytime he's been asked to fight, the dude is must-see TV. He delivers. You reward him by giving him the biggest fight of his career, and it's Conor McGregor. And also, those odds are going to be a lot closer than anybody else I named. Sorokin, Topuria, those odds are not favoring Justin. Conor? Oh, okay. Okay. You do it at 70. Do it at 70.
Okay, we'll leave that there. That was his hot take. Brendan realized only in this fight that Paddy had with fucking Justin Gaethje that Paddy had a limited skill set and is going to struggle against some of the top opponents and will probably not win the belt, which I think most people, even casual observers like myself, made that astute observation. Even as much as we like him as a person, Paddy Pimblett definitely is limited, and all the hype, all the fucking nonsense that he was talking about Paddy being the same as Conor is fucking been made to look very, very stupid, very, very silly post Gaethje loss. But again, this is Brendan's MO. He says one thing, says another thing, says one thing, says another thing, and because he's not the biggest voice in MMA and UFC anyway, and the only people that pay attention to the things he says are people like you and I. So it doesn't really matter, He can continually keep changing his mind, flip-flopping. No one's really going to call him out on it because no one's really watching this, We only watch this because we're fucking freaks and weirdos, but the larger UFC MMA community is not really keeping an eye on what Brendan has said about Paddy in the past compared to what he said. Most people don't care. Most people don't care. So, he kind of gets away with it. So it is what it is. It is what it fucking is.